Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Still this government. But I need to beseech the government and still call upon the government that there is still time. You can stand with Honorable Segirinya in just two ways. First and foremost, to drop the charges, but most importantly, to bail out all the political prisoners in prisons in Uganda. I've always been, for the 2 years Honorable Segirinya and Honorable Sewanyana spent in prison, I put down all my nice suits, just like one I put on today, and decided to wear free all political prisoners, written on all my clothes. For those 2 years, I call upon government to free all political prisoners, but most importantly, to bail them out as they are being tried for us what we call the persecution. That is very simple. But most importantly, General Museveni can still do something very, very, very great to the people of Uganda for this reason. Because Ugandans believe Honorable Segirinya died because of Mr. Museveni intimidating the judiciary not to bail out Honorable Segirinya. Everyone believes that. So let General Museveni at least this time give Ugandans the most important gift and not stand in 2026. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, as we pay our tribute, one thing that we must not forget, that Honorable, just like even the Lord had said, Honorable Segirinya had his long illness. Let's not forget that. Maybe there was a lapse somewhere, but he had his long illness. Lucy, then Honorable Kawalia, then I come this side also.
Thank you.
You're going to speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to pay tribute to a colleague. My deepest condolence to the family. Madam Speaker, I am going to speak on basically two issues. One, what do I learn from this friend of ours? When God gives you an opportunity, use it to the fullest. You don't need 100 years to make a change. And that is exactly what Honorable Muhammad did. Two, I want to repeat the words of the Archbishop Emeritus, John Baptist Odama. On the 14th of December this last year, 2024, when he was celebrating his 50th priestly anniversary in Guno Cathedral, these were his appeal to the government of Uganda, that please, in the interest of peace in this country, release political prisoners who have been in prison, who have been in remand without proper trial. These were his words. If you go back, you can watch this video. This was an appeal from the man of peace himself. And on that day, he launched a very important book entitled, Stop Fighting, Start Talking. How I wish as a country we would talk more and stop fighting. We would have less death. I know my brother had his I know my brother had an illness, but if he was helped properly, maybe in time he would not be where he is. Personally, I visited Chitalia. I visited some of the political prisoners. I am telling you, if you're not strong-hearted, you will not stay there for long. None of us wants to be there. And I don't pray that any of us ends up there. And what you do for yourself. Actually, we should practice what we call self-love. If you don't want it to be done to you, don't do it to somebody else.
Thank you.
As a Catholic, I am proud of my brother. Yes, he converted to Islam. But Madam Speaker, I am reliably informed.
But the whole family is Catholic.
Yes, that's what I was coming to. He accepted that the rest of the family can maintain. And that is, for me, the spirit of ecumenism and harmony in the family. Thank you so much. May God bless you. And as a Catholic, I think Archangel Michael has just recruited an army man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In the VIP gallery, we have Honorable Akol Rose Okulo, the member of the East African Legislative Assembly, and she's also my very good voter. Thank you. Honorable Kawalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
It is still your people speaking. Why don't you sit?
I rise to pay tribute to our fallen comrade, whom I got to know in 2007 through activism. We used to share a lot, but again, I also got the opportunity to serve with him at City Hall. When we had just joined in 2016, he was a member of the Standing Committee of Physical Planning, which I was chairing at that time, but it was always fun. We joined KCCA when it had a lot of challenges, most especially when it came to trade order. There's a time when the former executive director of Kampala, then Jennifer Msisi, wanted to send off all the boys who were operating on the streets of Kampala when government had no plan to relocate them. We fought tirelessly with him. For those who remember, that is the period when he committed himself, also turned himself to be a market vendor. He had passion for the common man. No wonder God had to pay him. I want to thank the Almighty God who turned Honorable Segrinya from the lowest of the low. We used to share a lot, and we had so many issues in common. One of them is that we had both lost our dear fathers when we were still very young. His commitment to fight for freedom for this country was real. For those who think that Honorable Seginya was a comedian, it is very wrong. He wanted to see a new Uganda. My message goes to government, because we all know what transpired. Honorable Seginya went to prison so many times. He was not charged for theft. He wasn't charged for defilement, but he was always being charged for fighting for the common man. I call upon all leaders in this country, let us try to put our country first, as how Honorable Segrinya has always been doing. We are going to miss him, most especially as the people of Kampala. And lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, when we are contesting for KCCA speakership for the first time, I contested with him, but he never had any personal vendetta with me. We stayed friends, and I recall even after the elections, he approached me and told me, okay, you have challenged me, but again, I want to serve on your council. We trusted him with the chairperson of the Public Health Committee, and for those who remember him, he spent almost a month running all places of Kampala, celebrating on how he was being appointed as the chairperson of the Standing Committee of Public Health. We are going to miss you. May your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nambooze, then we can have Honorable Kinovere, Honorable Macho, Honorable Ivanda, Propua, then the Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion before this House. And I want to appreciate you, Right Honorable Speaker, for appointing this day and time to give Parliament a moment to send off our brother with honor. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here as one of the MPs who has been sick most of this term. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for standing with us and making sure that we get treatment both locally and internationally. Right Honorable Speaker, some people think that it is fun to travel for treatment, especially people outside there. As much as we sympathize with other Ugandans who cannot afford to go for specialized treatment outside the country, I want to tell colleagues that it is quite very difficult and very challenging to be seeking treatment outside one's country. In certain areas, you are greatly limited by the fact that not every other locality where you seek treatment that people understand the English. And it is not easy to leave one's family and go camp in another foreign country. People end up mocking us, demonizing us, including colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker. That's why I want to thank you specifically for standing with us and just one more. Right Honorable Speaker, having said that, I want also to remind this House that we passed money to construct Lubowa Hospital. We had been told that that work would be completed in 2 years. It is now several years after, and Lubowa Hospital still remains a dream. There are so many other Ugandans who lack specialized treatment, but it is very difficult for one to go through the medical council to get the money, and even just the element of getting an airline that accepts to transport a sick person from Uganda. It is very difficult to get that airline to accept you to take one when you are sick. Lastly, I want to request colleagues not to join the president in his quest to abolish bond, police bond, and bail. The presumption of innocence should always remain, because, Madam Speaker, it is so sad when you have to battle a disease while at the same time battling for your freedom. A whole medical doctor from the prisons gave Honorable Gwenyini a recommendation that if this man is not let out of the prison, he will suffer consequences that will be fatal. It is so sad that even at one time these people were released and then kidnapped back to the prison. I think this is one moment where you people in government should stand up and say sorry. I understand Muslims, when they are going to be buried, they even call those people.
Thank you. Honorable Kinovere.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Chibuko County, on my own behalf,